From L'Auberge du Lac Casino Resort, Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 now present 3 5-minute rounds, the Season 4 Bellator Featherweight Tournament Championship. Sponsored by Champs, we know games. See how at facebook.com/champsports. And now introducing first, the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in at 145 pounds even as a professional. 16 victories, 3 defeats from Cincinnati, Ohio, Daniel Strauss. And across the cage is adversary fighting out of the blue corner. At 5'5", he weighed in at 145 3/4 pounds. Near perfect as a professional, 16 wins, just 1 defeat from Natal, Brazil. Introducing Patrício Pitbull. And the third man inside the cage, referee Jason Herzog.
Fighters gone over the rules in the back. There are no final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
Sitting cage side is Daniel Strauss's mom, a nervous look on Marty's face. This Bellator Tournament Championship bout is under the unified rules of MMA. It is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground.
First round, fight you ready.
No kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent. The bell in round number 1.
It's hard to believe when you look at them that they're even in the same weight class. Strauss is just huge.
He's just a taller athlete, a little bigger bone structure.
The American Daniel Strauss is in the white trunks with that beautiful throw. The Brazilian Patrício Pitbull is in the black trunks. $100,000 and a title fight versus Bellator's reigning featherweight world champion Joe Warren is what the winner of this bout will receive. And
Good luck.
Joe Warren is joining us live on commentary for this fight.
Now, if you see here, Strauss, you know, that second effort on the throw, went for a takedown, didn't get it, and then shifted right to a throw. He doesn't give up. He keeps pressing, keeps pushing, but right now it's Pitbull has him up against the fence.
But you watch Pitbull hit his back and pop right back up into a wrestling position. You can see he's been working on his wrestling line. Daniels needs to put that extra strength, that weight onto him today and hurt him.
Joe, Daniel Strauss, outside of fighting, is really your polar opposite. He always talks about, I don't feel like I'm ready, I don't feel like my cardio is good enough. You know, I could get knocked out in 15 seconds. He is always downplaying his accomplishments. It's almost as though he gets ready the opposite of what you do. Instead of saying, I'm the baddest man on the planet, he's almost saying, you know, I'm the worst fighter on the planet.
Well, you know, these are new wins for him. You know, he's new being in the spotlight. I'm used to that. I'm excited, ready for that, you know. Sometimes I talk a lot of trash because I need it. Push harder, baby.
Daniel Strauss started his pro MMA career 0-1 and then was 1-2. Since then, he has won 15 of 16 fights, including a dozen straight, coming into this featherweight tournament championship.
Now, here's where Pitbull's hard to deal with. Up against the fence, he's shorter, he's stockier, he's smaller. You're a Greco-Roman wrestler. It's very hard to get inside on a guy like that who's short and powerful.
Well, yeah, if you don't get underneath his hips. You know, right now Daniel's standing straight up and down and overhooking him. You know, and this is exactly what Pitbull wants, to slow this fight down and try to get control.
Patrício Pitbull enters this bout 16-1. His lone loss occurred last June via split decision versus Joe Warren in Bellator's Season 2 Featherweight Tournament Championship. This is the Featherweight Tournament Championship of Season number 4. Daniel Strauss versus Patrício Pitbull. Joe, if you recall in our fighter meeting last June, you told Jimmy and myself, if I'm going to beat Patrício Pitbull, I'm probably going to win by decision. Daniel Strauss told us the exact same thing coming into this fight. Realist,
you know what I mean? We're both warriors. You got to understand, 2 guys going in that ring at the level we're at, you know, understanding that one guy's not going to lose, so sometimes it's going to have to be a decision.
9 of his 16 career wins for Daniel Strauss coming by way of decision, and he is very proud of that. He loves being a grinder. He's the proudest non-finisher I've ever met in this sport. He says there is something about dominating an opponent for the distance of a fight.
Now, I have been in Patricio's guillotine. It is fast and he is strong. No room once you're underneath that guy's armpit, but not able to get it.
No worries. worries for Daniel Straus, and now he gets the Brazilians back now to a waist cinch.
And Pitbull pops right back up. Joe, how hard is that to take a guy down and he just pops right back to his feet? It's a big waste of energy.
Well, the way he did it was right. He attacked the body instead of trying to waste with the upper body, so he didn't use a lot of energy to get to his back. But once again, Pitbull shows his wrestling skills, pops right back to his feet, and pretty much negates that takedown.
Patrício Pitbull so determined to get through Daniel Straus, but really, Joe, he is looking to get back to you.
He's looking for that second round.
Since the quarterfinal round, his fight versus Georgi Karahani, and Joe, he has been talking about a rematch with you for your title.
Yeah, I'm honored to give him that opportunity if he wins this fight. You know, it'll be a great fight for Bellator and also for me. I'm excited to show my improvements with him.
Referee Jason Herzog letting the action flow.
Now, one thing about facing a better wrestler, a guy with better takedowns, it tends to shut strikers down. They don't want to throw because they don't want to commit with their hips and get taken down. You see Pitbull not really throwing a whole lot out here in the center.
Good body shot there by Daniel. Real good.
Oh, good leg kick by Pitbull.
Both guys very cautious with the strikes. A little bit of a leaping left hook there.
Straus listed at 5'7" to Patrício Pitbull's 5'5", but two really different body types. He looks so much bigger than just a 2-inch height advantage in the cage.
This is what Patrício wants right here. He wants to keep him at his distance, let him move him, create angles, and land those punches in his chin. You want him on his knees, hurting.
He wants him in the center of the cage the entire time. Good wrist control by Straus.
Nicely done by Straus, back to his feet. Left hand by Daniel Straus, just misses the mark. Two men go full speed.
Oh, good knee.
Heading into round number 2 of this Bellator Featherweight Tournament Championship with Jimmy Smith and Bellator's reigning Featherweight World Champion Joe Warren. I'm Sean Wheelock. The winner claims $100,000 and a title shot versus Joe Warren later this year. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I got to go with Pitbull on that 10-9, an extremely close round. I think he landed a couple more strikes, and striking damage is the #1 criteria in the fight. I got to go with Pitbull, but not by a whole lot.
And Joe, on your scorecard.
Also, Patrício Pitbull gets that win by me. He was more precise, and he finished the round the aggressor.
But Straus did get a couple takedowns. Wasn't able to utilize them, wasn't able to use them very effectively, but got a couple takedowns. It depends on how the judges see it.
Daniel Straus is in the white trunks. Patrício Pitbull is in the black trunks.
Pitbull with the takedown, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold Straus down.
Straus did tell us, Jimmy, that he would be comfortable fighting off of his back, but when do you ever see Daniel Straus on his back?
That is the worst place to be against Pitbull. You learned that. When he was on top of you in that first round of that fight, he had great control and good ground and pound.
Yeah, I won, saved by the bell on that one, but thank God the bell was there. But he's got his back right now. This is a great position for him. He needs to keep that pressure on Daniel right now.
And when I rolled with Pitbull, he is so
Put him in the face. You got him in the face. You got him in the face. You got him in the face.
Time called by referee Jason Herzog.
Herzog saying that knee was to the face. I thought it was to the body. We have to get another look at that, maybe.
You have a little bit of time. You need to work great. Okay, it was an accent. Okay.
Straus saying he needs
a little time to recover. You can't be in your corner.
Let's see if we get another look at it. Up against the fence. Oh, that looked directly to the body to me. I did not see any of that hitting him in the face. It looked like it was to the gut.
You ready?
Now again, we are under the unified rules of MMA. So knees to the body of a grounded opponent are legal. Knees to the head of a grounded opponent are illegal.
That's a bad call by Jason Herzog. That was straight to the ribs.
Look at Pitbull's face. Smiling, he's moving. You can see the flow. At this point in a fight, if you see a boxer moving like that, you better get your hands on him as quick as possible.
Yeah, and he's got good confidence. You see he's moving forward. I think he's having a lot more confidence in his striking and his ability to stop Straus's takedown.
Yeah, and I see, they say the best champion is the best actor, but I don't see that right now in Daniel.
TNA Impact is now called Impact Wrestling. This week, Kurt Angle goes one-on-one with Rob Van Dam for the first time ever on Impact. And will Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff succeed in eliminating the X Division once and for all? Impact Wrestling, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Spike.
Hope we see some flying elbows today in honor of Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, man. Rest in peace.
Sadly passed away yesterday at the age of 58. His feud when I was a kid with George the Animal Steele was one of the greatest in the history of pro wrestling.
Now, this feud right here that we're seeing here is going Pitbull's way. Very aggressive. I think he's got that swagger. He's got that confidence. I think.
Yeah, but look at Daniel, man. Don't count this man out. He's on his toes. His head's moving. His hands are up.
Oh, he's still very much in it. As far as the confidence momentum, I gotta go.
But you see it. You see
Yeah.
it. I see the flow right now, like you were talking about. He's moving. His body's flowing. That's a scary position to be standing in front of a guy like that.
Patrício Pitbull, through his Portuguese interpreter, told us that he felt that his semi-final round opponent, Wilson Hayes, was much stronger than Daniel Strauss. And he also said, if Strauss is stronger than Hayes, well, I guess I'm in big trouble.
Well, Wilson, a really strong dude, but strong in a jiu-jitsu kind of way. Great positioning, really able to hold you, but didn't have that wrestling background like Daniel Strauss. But you see Strauss on the outside. I think he wants to press and get close and stuff these punches.
He's playing his game. Daniel's playing Pitbull's game, standing out there. He needs to put that aggression on him. You know, if Pitbull's saying that about the power, he's in for a big, rough time. July coming.
I think Strauss's best bet is like Nazareno Malagari. He was always in Malagari's face, always pushing forward, always keeping him against the fence. Pitbull is going to win this fight, in my opinion, in the center of the cage. That's where he's best.
He needs to push the pace, but, you know, he's giving him a little too much respect.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
It's because we're, again, about the power of Pitbull's hands. You know, they're called heavy hands for a reason.
Body lock by Strauss.
Time. Right here.
Patrício Pitbull complaining of a low blow there. Time called again by referee Jason
He just
Herzog.
came straight up through the center. I think his foot caught him in the cup.
Keep it clean, okay?
Accidents,
Let's go.
you know?
Yeah? All right, guys, back up.
Good show of sportsmanship from both fighters. Time in immediately.
Well, neither one of these guys are dirty fighters. They have a lot of respect for one another. They're just, you know, you're throwing, that's what happens.
See, just straight left right there. You gotta watch out still for Danny. He needs to push that pace.
You see he's trying to counterpunch. He's trying to catch Pitbull coming in.
It's because, you know, you watch Pitbull and you scout him, he's a counterpuncher. So you think you counterpunch against him. You need to put that aggression in. Wrestling.
Head kick there by Strauss did not find the mark.
Now, speaking of low blows, his brother Patricky, a victim of 3 of those last week.
Big swing and a miss by Pitbull.
It's Michael Chandler.
He needs to get his hands on Pitbull.
Good knee to the body, then the counter on the single leg by Pitbull. Great. Oh, beautiful hip toss by Strauss.
Wins that one, too.
You see here the end of that round, Pitbull using his wrestling and a great counter throw, almost judo stepping across. But Pitbull, once again, right back to his feet. Strauss has been able to get a couple throws, but never able to hold Pitbull down.
Our third and final round of this featherweight tournament championship. Indeed, the final round of Bellator Season 4 featherweight tournament. Daniel Strauss versus Patrício Pitbull. Jimmy on your scorecard.
I have it 2 rounds to none. Patrício Pitbull. Both rounds very close, but I've given them both to Pitbull.
And Joe Warren on your unofficial scorecard.
Also the same, 10-9, 10-9.
That is the voice of Joe Warren, the self-proclaimed baddest man on the planet, Bellator's reigning featherweight world champion. He will fight the winner of this bout later this year. Daniel Strauss is in the white trunks, Patrício Pitbull is in the black trunks, and the winner of this fight not only earns a title shot versus Joe Warren, they also earn $100,000.
Now, we both talked about it in between rounds, Joe. Strauss has a wrestler's background, but he's playing a striker's game right now, kind of playing on the outside, not getting in Patrício Pitbull's face like we saw him do in previous fights.
Well, actually, this is the 3rd round also of a $100,000 fight. You better, you know, do what you got to do, pull up your shorts and get after this because, you know, you're not winning this fight standing outside right now.
Hey, can't take any punches home with you.
or any money.
Oh, good left hand by Patrício.
He was on the counter after this step in right by Strauss.
You see Strauss trying to jump in, lunge in, rather than press in, and that's how Patrício is able to catch him. He's lunging, he's not pressing.
See what happens when a warrior like me gets back in there.
Flurry of punches there by Patrício Pitbull. Well defended, though, well covered by Daniel Strauss.
Good right hand.
Beautiful right hand. Best punch of this round.
Strauss finally getting inside, finally pressing.
But Pitbull doing a really good job, keep putting his feet against that cage and pulling the underhook up.
Are you surprised by his improvements in his wrestling game since he fought you for Patrício Pitbull?
No, I'm definitely not. He's a warrior, professional fighter. I knew that what he would do is, you know, put his whole camp into wrestling, focus everything he has in wrestling, and you can see that in those last few fights. He's had end-around takedowns every single round.
He's been very efficient, not wasting a lot of time trying to take Strauss down in the middle of the cage. It's been toward the fence, toward the end of rounds. Very efficient.
Strauss back to his feet. Good knee by Patrício Pitbull.
You see Strauss getting the clinch behind Pitbull's head.
Well, you're seeing a game planner, you know, a fighter that's a game plan fighter like Pitbull against Daniel, similar to me, which throws it out at the wind and see what happens.
Strauss temporarily on his bicycle.
Well, you didn't plan to take a beating in those first rounds?
Yeah, I'm just doing that to gain some more fans on MTV2 here, you know, so I can get some people that back me up here.
I bet you went, after the first round of that Joe Soto fight, when everything's going exactly the way I wanted it to.
Exactly. That's not the plan, but, you know, things happen out there.
And Pitbull, good bounce on his feet, hands high.
And he's moving, you know, Daniel's moving backwards. He's got to push this pace now. He's not no choice. He's a minute and 40 seconds left.
Nice left hand by Strauss.
Now Pitbull tapping his chin, saying, come on. Trying to lure him in. You know he has a counter right waiting.
This was the game plan, but he's got to set up.
Strauss is such a mellow, easygoing personality, but I think that really bothered him. Seemed as though he was upset by the showboating there from Patrício Pitbull.
But suckered him right into a takedown. I think that was his plan. Get him to move forward, shoot for a takedown of his own. If he can get one with a minute left, maybe ice this round, but good defense by Strauss.
It was a good game plan. I mean, he once again into a high single and tried to do a sit back or a dump. Wasn't successful, but still in the judge's eyes, it was a takedown attempt.
Into the 15th and final minute of this featherweight tournament championship. Who will prevail, Daniel Strauss or Patrício Pitbull? Who will get that title shot versus Joe Warren later this year?
Strauss has to really turn it up in order to win this fight.
Yep, I agree, definitely.
Nice 1-2 by Strauss. Good knee, and then the push off by Pitbull. Strauss missing over the top.
A good head movement by Pitbull. He's dodging that first strike.
More showboating from Patrício Pitbull, and that's really out of character for him.
It is. I think he has a plan. He's not a guy who typically showboats. He's trying to draw Strauss in to either counter right or get that takedown that he likes to get at the end of the round.
Flying knee from Patrício Pitbull.
You see the balance. He threw the flying knee and then landed on his feet. Incredible balance by the Brazilian.
Closing seconds of this fight. Strauss looking for a suplex, and he gets it. The bell, the end of a very entertaining fight.
And tried to finish at the end, but Pitbull, that balance, always on top. Excellent job.
When we return, we will learn the winner. It will be Daniel Strauss or Patrício Pitbull.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Jordan Bass scores at 29-28, while judges Joe Ancona and Mark LeBlanc both see the fight 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision now. The Season 4 Bellator Featherweight Tournament Champion, Patrício Pitbull.
Let's see how these two fighters line up with our tale of the tape.
Look at the reach advantage for Daniel Strauss. 6.5 inches. He needs to keep Patrício Pitbull on the outside.
Gentlemen, we've gone over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Best of luck to both of you. Step back.
A quality stare down. The title on the line. There you see the champion, Patrício Pitbull. Set to face in this rematch that man, the former champion, Daniel-Straus. The trademark start from John McCarthy, and here we go with round number 1. Blue gloves for Straus, right gloves for Pitbull. Low kick from Pitbull.
That's a weapon we don't see often from Pitbull. I think it's very effective. Oh, leaping right hand.
Counter knee by Straus.
Pitbull kicks very hard, kicks like he punches.
Straus missing with that right hand, pawing it out. A lot of head movement, a lot of bounce from the Brazilian champion, Patrício Pitbull. Good counter left by Straus.
Southpaw stance of vulnerability for Straus is going to be that straight right hand from Patrício Pitbull. He loves throwing it. Don't sleep on Daniel-Straus's boxing either.
2 by Straus, neither getting through. Counter left by Straus. Touch of gloves. Despite the animosity, an incredible level of respect between Straus and Pitbull.
They're professionals. Tapping the back of his head like, oh, that hit the back of my head, but it was a legal shot. If you dip under a punch, that's your problem. You're not allowed to target the back of the head.
Which is why John McCarthy stayed correctly quiet. Where do you get a sense of the speed, the accuracy of these two with their stand-up?
I think Pitbull's a little taken aback by the speed and aggression of Daniel-Straus.
Short knee to the thigh by Straus.
There's a weakness to Patrício Pitbull's striking style is that it tends to be pretty basic. He throws power punches, puts a lot behind every shot, but doesn't angle a whole lot, not a ton of head movement.
Feint on the kick by Straus. Hands high for Pitbull. Waiting forward with straight punches.
Oh, the eye poke. Both of them felt it.
Time call by John McCarthy.
Yeah, Straus immediately going over and apologize. He felt that.
Let's get right there. Hey, come here. You see that? Watch yourself inside, all right? So not your fault, not his
Could have been a
fault,
headbutt.
okay?
I thought it was an eye poke. Could have been a headbutt.
Got a small abrasion above his eye. Unintentional clash of heads.
Yeah, it's calling an unintentional clash of heads.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Now you heard John McCarthy tell the officials table for the state of California, accidental. Small abrasion up on the head. That's in case that abrasion would turn into a cut.
Now Straus all over Pitbull. Hands much faster. He's much more committed to his boxing. Pitbull going for a takedown. He is not intimidated at all.
Jimmy, we've known Daniel-Straus since he made his Bellator debut in 2010. I have never, and I mean never, seen him more relaxed, more at ease than entering this fight.
I've never seen his striking look better. This is not the kind of fight Pitbull was expecting. He needs to mentally adjust to this new Daniel-Straus.
Pitbull told us Straus gets hit hard, he covers up. Maybe in the first fight, but not tonight. Not yet anyway. We're just getting started, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds, 45 seconds.
Oh, he's got him! Up against the fence where he wants him. question is what happens to Pitbull when he gets hit hard.
Straus misses with that. Bouncing the step of Pitbull. You see the lateral movement. Kick just above the waistline.
Time. Go to the corner there. Okay. All right? Step off.
I just screwed this up, Jimmy. I said above the waistline. The fighters and John McCarthy disagree. They see that as a kick to the upper portion of the cup.
Hey, that's your fault.
Let's take a look at it, see if we can judge.
Watch where it goes out.
I thought it was legal.
No,
right?
That was on the cup. It was coming up, but it's on the way up. That foot definitely hit the cup. That's an illegal shot. Unintentional, though.
Time in. So twice time called here in round number 1. First for the accidental clash of heads, and then that. End of round number 1.
Look at the clash of heads. You'll see it. Right there. Both guys felt it. Both guys acknowledged it. Nice short elbow up against the fence. Look at this counter shot from Daniel Straus. He's not standing there taking punches. He's ready to answer back.
You may have noticed a Brazilian in the corner of Daniel Straus. The great Ricardo Laborio.
Get up.
Round number 2. Jimmy, your scorecard.
10-9, Daniel Straus. Aggressive, landing good shots. Like I said, Pitbull hasn't yet adjusted to this kind of fight. I don't think he expected this.
This for Bellator's Featherweight World Championship. Former title holder Daniel Straus versus the reigning titleist Patrício Pitbull, with Jimmy Smith on, Sean Wheelock. .420 remaining, round number 2.
If you think Daniel Straus is going to slow down, you have not seen him fight before.
Good.
McCarthy recognized that as low. He said, "Are you good?" Both fighters agreed to keep going. Low kick again from Pitbull.
Another
now
shot.
Time called by McCarthy.
That's 2 in a row. Weren't bad, weren't egregious, but 2 in a row. John McCarthy's got to say something to him.
Okay.
Even 2 unintentional ones. It's just Pitbull's frustrated now.
I know. Wasn't hard. No. Wasn't hard. You good? Patrício, you good?
There was a knee that ended up a kicked him right in the cup.
Fight.
And watch the bottom of Straus's left foot right there. Oosh. Time in.
That could be a good thing for Pitbull. Make Daniel Straus worry about another foul. Maybe slow down his offense, which has been great so far.
Straus missing with that left hook. Using the push kick as a rangefinder, but toes extended. And it's very high for Pitbull. Feints on that shot. Stepping in with the lead left hook.
I don't know what he's complaining about. Another shot to the cup.
Again, time called by John McCarthy. And here come the boos loudly.
Get over there. Backing up does not change the fact you can't hit him in the groin.
Intentionally grow.
Did I say you're intentionally? But you're doing it, right? And if you're doing it, it's causing a problem in the fight. You've got to control where your blows go. Got it? Stay here.
I don't see what he's... Oh, fingers in the eyes. That's what it is. He sticks those fingers out right in the eyes.
Relax. Hey, stay with the fight. You all right? Are we okay? Okay, stay there.
McCarthy said to Straus, the fact that you're backing up, it does not matter.
It's true. I think he's going to take a point. This is big.
1 point low
This is
blow.
big.
1 point low blow.
There might have been an earlier cup shot, because that's what Pitbull was complaining about. He was complaining about a cup shot maybe earlier in the round, and we just didn't see it.
So 1 point deducted for Daniel Straus. Time in, round number 2 resumes. So factor that in for those of you scoring on the Bellator app and scoring on Twitter. Remember, give us your scorecards at Jimmy Smith MMA, at Sean Wheelock.
As if this fight needed a more personal element, they're now pissed. Pitbull going hard for the takedown.
Flinging down Straus. Straus looking for the up kick, explodes forward. Good sprawl from Pitbull.
Man, great scramble by Pitbull. Pitbull also has a great guillotine.
For all the talk of his punching prowess, his knockout power, Patrício Pitbull is a very high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Straus, nationally ranked out of Ohio, is a high school wrestler. We talked about Ricardo Laborio being in his corner. Straus, a lot of emphasis on grappling. For significant ground fighting we've seen thus far.
Ricardo Laborio, a jiu-jitsu genius.
Back to their feet.
Nice throw by Daniel Straus.
Throw from the body lock for Straus, and Pitbull right back up.
Pitbull's so stocky, very hard to keep down.
1:35 remaining, round 2.
Don't grab it.
A beautiful roll by Pitbull that gave up his back. It's gonna be hard for Daniel Straus to keep.
Straus couldn't find the hooks.
A beautiful job by Pitbull.
Pitbull just gliding over Straus. Look at the turn. Straus trying to match him. Again, back to their feet.
Yeah, this is great stuff we're seeing.
See the swelling above and below Pitbull's right eye. Punches to the body from Pitbull.
Knee to the body. Pitbull trying to keep the pressure on. Another good shot to the body.
Those are thudding, rocking back Straus from those knees. Straus looking to his corner. Looking for the outside trip. The end of round 2. Round number 3 for Bellator's featherweight world title. Former champion Daniel Straus versus the reigning champion Patrício Pitbull. Scorecard, Jimmy.
A very close second round. I gave it to Patrício Pitbull. I thought he finished stronger. The problem is it goes down as a 10-8 because of the point deduction. That could have a huge impact on the fight if the judges see it the same way I do.
Crowd reacts to the head kick, but it was deftly blocked by Pitbull.
Once again, Daniel Straus being the aggressor. Daniel Straus showing good speed.
Counter right hand from Pitbull. Again, the head kick blocked. To the body lands. Straus lands the body kick and then backs off Jimmy.
He wants this center of the cage kind of fight. Confident with his kickboxing. So far, the striking is working for him.
Watch your fingers, no. I didn't say you did I?
McCarthy warning, watch the fingers.
Mason-Straus arguing back.
And that was the point deduction, round number 2. Strauss, fingers to the eyes of Pitbull as Strauss was moving backwards.
Not a lot of strikes from Daniel Strauss landing cleanly, but he's throwing them. He's initiating. He's the aggressor. All counts in the judging.
Well, continuing to target that low kick, Jimmy.
One thing that's very important to keep in mind, Pat Curran,
Good left hand.
Pitbull, Daniel Strauss, every time they have rematched in the Bellator cage, it's been 1-1. No one's won 2 in the Bellator cage against the other. Pitbull just hasn't found his offensive rhythm yet. He's been on the outside where he's less comfortable, hasn't found ways in.
Small mouse under Pitbull's right eye, and it has popped. See a slight trickle of blood now. That reacts, but again, that hip kick blocked. Strauss trying to open up now. The punches, then the level change.
Beautiful. Look at that hip defense by Pitbull ending up on top. 9 times out of 10, Daniel Strauss is that deep, he's going to take you down. Beautiful hips.
Pitbull landed in half guard. He almost landed in full mount. Amazing technique and agility from Patrício Pitbull.
He's got to keep Daniel Strauss down. He has to score with some ground and pound. Going back for the heel hook.
Strauss immediately pulling out. Minute 15 of this fight. We'll go a maximum of 25. There's actually 2 cuts around the right eye of Patrício Pitbull. There's a slight mouse pop under his right eye, and he's also cut outside of the right brow.
I like the versatility of what I'm seeing from Daniel Strauss. Punches to kicks, working the legs, working the body, working the head. Pitbull just hasn't found an answer for it yet.
Final seconds, 3rd round, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. At stake, Bellator's featherweight world title.
Daniel Strauss aggressive in his 3rd round. Accurate. Didn't land a ton of huge shots, but he's the one throwing. Patrício Pitbull not answering back. At the end, mixing up the takedown at the end of his combinations. Pitbull, great job with the hips, but couldn't keep Daniel Strauss down. Went back to the takedown at the end of the round and got it. Great stuff so far from Daniel Strauss.
Round number 4, and into the championship rounds we go. 5th time past 3 rounds in Daniel Strauss's pro MMA career. The 3rd time past 3 for Patrício Pitbull. Quick start from Strauss. What do you think, Jimmy, through 3 rounds?
I have it all tied up because of the foul to Daniel Strauss. I have it all tied up through 3 rounds.
CompuStrike brings us strikes landed through the opening 3 rounds.
Not a surprise at all. Daniel Strauss right now tonight looking like the better striker.
Something that quite simply Patrício Pitbull did not count on. Pitbull, a lot of respect for the wrestling, the scrambling, the movement of Strauss, but really almost discounting his ability as a striker in MMA. As you saw on the stool between rounds 3 and 4, the slight mouse pop is nothing, but that's a pretty deep laceration. It's just above the right eyelid just below the right brow of Pitbull.
And also, I didn't like what I was hearing from the corner in between rounds. It sounded like more motivational stuff, not tactical. It was, you're the champ, keep going, he's tired. They didn't give him the technical tools of what he's doing wrong. Pitbull right now not having a lot of answers for the offense of Daniel Strauss.
Good left hand! Pitbull's rock, Strauss pounces. Immediately looks for the level change. Did not follow up with punches, Jimmy. Strauss went for the level change.
Went back to his instincts.
Now the body lock and the turn from Pitbull. 3:05 remaining round 4. Pitbull leading legally with his head. That's not a butt, just grinding forward. Strauss trying to find a tie plug. Pitbull opening up to the body. Strauss looking to counter back, and he does. Good left hand. Body kick.
He's gotten Strauss against the fence a couple times, has not been able to keep him there.
Big right hand from Pitbull to answer back. John McCarthy stepping in.
Whoa. That's not a fight stoppage. That was because he hit him in the cup.
Pitbull thinks
I don't think Pitbull knows that.
And time called by McCarthy. Low blow detected by John McCarthy. Pitbull thought he had won.
Hey. I heard it.
A lot of fouls so far in this fight.
You get up. I want you to get up.
Yep. The knee went right against the cup. He drops. The referee's behind Pitbull.
Right here, baby.
Doesn't say anything. He doesn't know, so he keeps attacking.
Right there, Pitbull thinks that he's won.
You're gonna be all right, all right?
And that eye is a mess.
You stay right where you're at. The knee hit here, the foot hit him in the groin, okay? Hey, the knee hit clean, the foot hit him in the groin. That's why. Okay? Gotta be clear, I know it wasn't on you. You didn't know intent, all right?
Some people in the crowd chanting, take a point. That's what you're hearing.
The knee hit, the foot lifted the cup up, all right? Look at me. You understand?
So the knee was legit, but the foot hit him in the cup, but it looks like a shin hit the cup.
You all right?
Yeah.
Talk to me. You got time.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, that's the same shit that happened.
Hey. Nope. The knee was clean, the foot hit you, and that's why it was stopped, okay? All right.
You look at the replay, the foot did not hit him, it was the shin.
You ready to go?
It's hard to understand if you're at home, if you've ever worn one of those things. The cup sticks out a little bit.
Right.
Sticks out quite a bit. So you might look at it at home and go, oh, that looks illegal, but the cup sticks out. It's easy to hit with a knee or a shin.
So Patrício Pitbull, who thought he had won that fight, has to reset. The Brazilian and native Portuguese speaker speaks very limited English. John McCarthy trying to explain in English to Pitbull that sequence which he called time. 1:45. Remaining round 4, nothing on the jet knee from Pitbull. Did not pull the trigger. Took by Strauss. Counter left by Strauss. Pitbull now looking for the level change. Looking for the double leg. And he takes down Strauss. And trying to work to the back of Patrício Pitbull.
Minute left in a round he was losing. Can Pitbull get it back?
Strauss trying to make himself small. Angle shots, they're not on the spine.
Strauss has to be careful here. If he commits to the Kimura, Pitbull can step over an armbar.
See, that's what Strauss is doing, looking for the Kimura, has the figure 4.
And you won't get it without guard. You put yourself in trouble like this.
Pitbull now looking to finish with a rear naked choke.
He's got it.
McCarthy taking a really close look. That is tight.
I can't see how deep it is from here.
Pitbull locking it on. 14 seconds, 13 remaining in the round.
He got it.
There is the tap. And the successful title defense for Patrício Pitbull.
Shades of Pat Curran versus Strauss in the 5th round, 15 seconds left. He gives up the rear naked choke. Deja vu all over again. Pitbull still the champion. Man!
What a move of class from the champion, Patrício Pitbull.
He's going to be upset with Daniel Strauss back at the gym. Look at it here. Gave up his back. Committed to the Kimura with no guard. You can't do that. Your opponent can step over and take your back. That's exactly what he did. And committed to that rear naked. Pitbull just too strong. Championship performance. Was behind, was losing, and seized the opportunity to finish the fight. Great performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 4 minutes, 49 seconds into round number 4. The winner by submission and still Bellator featherweight world champion, Patrício Pitbull.
Look at the height and reach advantage of Daniel Strauss. He's used that jab, that range. Patrício Pitbull had a lot of trouble getting inside in their last fight.
You ready? You ready? Get it on.
Weakness to the striking style of Patrício Pitbull is that it tends to be basic. He relies on power punches, doesn't angle that much, doesn't throw a lot of kicks. Did he add new tools to his toolkit since their last fight?
One of the great heavyweights of all time from St. Louis, Sonny Liston. Everything he threw was heavy. Everything Patrício throws is heavy.
The difference between him and Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston had an amazing jab. The problem is Patrício Pitbull tends to lead with the hook or the right hand. He tends to fight short, even for a short fighter. More on Mike Tyson than a Sonny Liston, for sure. Oh, this guy's a lot of respect. That's what you get having fought twice.
People don't talk much about the first meeting, but Patrício had his way. He dominated that fight.
And Strauss looked tentative in that fight. Didn't want to engage. It was an out-of-character fight for Daniel Strauss.
That was in May of 2011. Tournament final back in the tournament days. The improvement Daniel Strauss had made between the first 2 fights was apparent immediately.
Dramatic. That's the one thing. Pitbull very hard to take down. He's short, he's stocky, he's strong. Strauss, the superior wrestler, just physically hard to get underneath Patrício Pitbull's hips.
Patrício Pitbull had never taken damage the way he did in that second fight.
Nice knee, nice elbow. Good short-range game. This is where Patrício Pitbull has the advantage, in close.
Daniel Straus trying to fight his way back to the middle.
This is where he spent most of the second fight. Patrício Pitbull was against the fence.
It was a thrilling fight, but it was also a strange one. There were a lot of low blows. There were a lot of stoppages. There were a lot of stop and start to it.
It was an ugly fight in that regard. One thing about the opposite stances, southpaw from Daniel Straus, orthodox from Patrício Pitbull, is the power punches are easier to throw. Generally, all that Patrício Pitbull throws anyway.
Daniel Straus leading to set that up.
Oh,
look at that jump knee. Keeping Patrício at bay, but he breaks into a big smile. There's a lot of respect here, too.
I think he had Patrício Pitbull hurt there, but he didn't want to push it. I think he remembered what happened to Daniel Weichel.
Everybody remembers what happened to Daniel Weichel. Patrício Pitbull was done in that fight. He was done. There was confusion, you may remember, at the end of the round as to whether the fight was over or just the round. Weichel picked up where he left off at the start of round 2, and then lightning struck.
I talked to Daniel Weichel in the hotel after that fight. And what he told me is, Jimmy, I've never been hit like that in my entire life. Sparring, competing, never have I been dropped like that.
On to round 2. One of the most memorable visuals from that Pitbull-Weichel fight was the reaction of Tito Ortiz to the knockout by Patrício. Tito was not going to miss this one. The third of the trilogy. Close first round and tough to call. How did you see it?
I give the edge to Daniel Straus. Takedown, flying knee, just landed a little bit more. Hurt Pitbull a little bit more than Pitbull hurt him. That's about it.
Fair or unfair, Daniel Straus, now when you think of him, you think of the fights he had won and then lost late, because it happened with Pat Curran as well, in addition to the second Patrício fight.
The hardest label to shed, I think, in all of sports is choker, because you don't often get to a level where you get to prove you're not a choker. I mean, how many Super Bowls do you go to in an entire career? How many championship fights do you get? Not many.
Buffalo Bills, 4 straight Super Bowls.
All anyone remembers is if they didn't win them.
The difference is that Daniel Straus has been the world champion. He's been there.
Yep.
It was in that second Pat Curran fight that he lost that title.
What Conan Silveira told him in the corner was throw elbows against the fence. Throw elbows and get out. Rely on your short game. Don't throw punches with this guy whose arms are much shorter. Sound advice.
Daniel Straus and Will Brooks have become so close, they've become teammates.
This is where Pitbull needs to throw. Needs to make Straus pay for making mistakes with the real estate, getting too close to the fence. Out here in space, I give the advantage to Daniel Straus for sure.
Oh my God! Left hand! Daniel Straus going for the finish. Pounding up Patrício Pitbull.
This might be it.
Can he survive? Over! Patrício Pitbull's never been finished, and look how he's trying to escape. Daniel Straus drops him on his head. The ground and pound continues. John McCarthy taking a very close look. An extraordinary sequence.
I can't believe it. From a knockout to a submission, now back to the ground and pound. Pitbull trying so hard to stay in this fight, but he is rocked.
So much time left in this round. When Weichel got him, there were 10 seconds left in the round.
Pitbull's eyes are blank. He is not back in this fight.
And now the moment has arrived for Daniel Straus. What he has not been able to do in the big moment, can he finish?
He's going hard for the Kimura. Trying to lock up the left shoulder of Daniel Straus. But is Pitbull going for the submission, or is he just trying to clear his head right now? Is he just hanging on? He lets it go. Going hard for the guillotine. He doesn't lock it up. Straus has a lot of faith in his guillotine. That's how he finished Henry Corrales. He doesn't want to give up on the ground and pound here. Doesn't want to make this a submission battle.
How do you not, if you're Daniel Straus, how do you not flash back to what happened last time?
That's inside of him. Victory is in his grasp right now. If you're thinking about anything other than what's happening right now, your head's in the wrong place.
That huge sequence happened with more than half the round remaining.
Remember, he can finish the guillotine. He has an excellent one. Pitbull's back to his feet. Oh my God, great elbows. Can you believe the guts of Patrício Pitbull? Can you believe the chin that he's still in this fight?
It didn't seem possible these two could top the show they put on in January. And yet, they are standing dead center, both having taken damage, and Patrício doing it again. Where does he find it?
So Patrício is fighting in a haze right now. He is not focused. He has not recovered from that shot.
For the second straight time in St. Louis, Patrício Pitbull has been rocked. He is in trouble, but again, he makes it and survives to the end of the round.
Respira. Oh, olha pra mí.
What Patricio's being told is keep your guard high. You're aware the first question was, you know you got knocked down, right? You got to find out where his head is first.
Yeah, look at the replays here. You cannot get anything back in between rounds. If you're concussed, if you're rocked, there's not a whole lot your corner can do to get you back in the fight physically. It just takes time. The question is, will he have that kind of time? Daniel Straus, expect him to start this third round like a fireball.
You think of teams that have lost big leads over and over again, and that nervous feeling you have when you're up 3-0 in the 6th inning, when you're up a couple of touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. Daniel Straus has been here before. And so is Patrício Pitbull.
I don't think Patrício Pitbull, I don't think Daniel Weichel hurt him as badly as he was hurt right now by Daniel Straus. I think this might be the worst he's ever been hurt in his career. Certainly the worst he's ever been hurt in Bellator.
Straus, another left one. Second time, Pitbull's been able to catch that leg kick. He's not all there, is he?
He's not. He's not sharp. It's like he's trying to figure out what's happening as he's fighting.
Oh, another big left.
How is he still standing?
This is what he did against Straus last time. It's what he did against Weichel. He gave himself a chance for another miracle comeback. Does he have a 3rd one in him?
What people don't understand, he's got to be at least mildly concussed from these shots. It's like you're catching up. You're always trying to figure out what's happening. Short-term memory, a lot of times, is gone. You're just trying to figure out what's happening as you are fighting. You're fighting confused. That's what it looks like is happening with Patrício Pitbull. He's fighting in a haze right now, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous.
Is it tempting to change your strategy when you've got the other guy hurt?
It can be tempting, but don't expect Daniel Straus to do that. Now this is where his weakness kind of becomes his strength. In the past, he's had guys hurt and he hasn't turned it on to finish them. But it makes him careful. He doesn't take risks. He doesn't do anything stupid. The only time he's had a stupid fight was last time against Pitbull and obviously against Pat Curran last time. Usually he fights mistake-free. That's a good thing right now.
The other thing to keep in the back of your head, that very easily could have been a 10-8 round two.
That's how I scored it.
Which would mean Patrício Pitbull would have to win all 3 of these rounds just to get it even.
Yep. I'm sure he'd take it right now. He'd take a draw.
And even if he can miraculously clear the cobwebs, that's not going to be enough. Clearing the cobwebs isn't enough.
No. Look at that left over the top, over and over again. Pitbull just can't see them coming.
Mason-Straus is ramping it up now. He is being respectful of the knockout power of Pitbull.
But see what he doesn't do. He doesn't make the mistake Weichel made. He doesn't stand in front of him and unload looking for the finish. He backs out and restarts.
Pitbull's best shot since he got rocked.
And another angle to this, if you're Pitbull, is can he just keep in this fight until round 4 or 5 and hope that the demons that have plagued Strauss in championship fights come back to haunt him late. That's another thing as well. This looks like a replay of their second fight, but worse. Or better if you're a Strauss fan.
To finish the second fight, if you didn't see it, came on the ground. It was one mistake. Mason-Straus gave up his back, and a rear naked choke later, it was over.
Watch your heads, watch your heads. Watch your heads when you come up. It was on purpose. All right, fight. Watch it, stop. Time.
Poked him in the eye.
This is deja vu all over again.
How you feeling? Okay. How's the eye? You see me? Okay.
Right hand.
Yep.
Extending the fingers right into the eye. That's clear.
Don't pop that out. Look at me. Good? Yes. Stay right there.
There were so many stoppages
It's on purpose.
in the second fight
Good to go.
that there was a point
Ready?
deduction.
Fight.
Yep. And it was hard for either guy to get a rhythm, really. One thing these guys don't have is animosity and a lot of respect for one another. Familiarity often breeds contempt. These guys still have a lot of respect for one another.
And Mason-Straus has been smart here.
Man, another big left.
How many heavy shots can Pitbull take and keep coming forward? To the championship rounds we go.
And it's the power of his straight left hand. So far, Pitbull has had no answer for it. Also has not made defensive adjustments. Every time he throws, every time they have exchanges, he leaves his right hand down, and that left hand is catching him over the top. It's been the case since the first round.
Sometimes you find out you have a chin. That's the good news. The bad news is you find out you have a chin.
You ready? You ready? Get up.
We head into the deep water, the championship rounds, where Mason-Straus's championship dreams have turned to nightmares. How do you see it through 3? Let me take a wild guess.
3 rounds to none for Mason-Straus. The second round, 10-8. Almost finished the fight, pure dominance. The question is, what does Pitbull do tactically to change things around?
June, in this cage here in St. Louis, Patrício Pitbull needed the one-punch knockout to save the fight. Now he needs it to win the fight. He needed to clear his head and survive. Now he needs it to hold on to the title.
Just have to ask yourself, has the luck run out for Patrício Pitbull? Not that he's not a great fighter. The third time in a row, he's needed a desperation comeback to win a fight.
He has been dancing through raindrops the last two. And tonight he is getting soaked.
Comes to that power left hand. Strauss cannot miss. Ooh. They clashed hits coming in, but Big John didn't say stop.
Didn't.
So Strauss almost leveled him, which would have been totally legal.
You're not doing anything. Your head clash, we both coming in, okay? Just be careful of your head, okay? You ready? Fight.
Detractors, people who don't like Pitbull, say that. He's a complainer, calls a lot of fouls that may or may not happen. That's what the people don't like him. That's what they say.
Some people are comfortable leading a race, having that big lead. Some aren't. Daniel Strauss has looked more and more comfortable. The evolution of Daniel Strauss has been on display. First fight to second fight to third fight with Pitbull.
He's just getting kicked apart from the outside. He's answered back with some power shots, but mostly it's been at Daniel Strauss's range. Nice right hand.
Another big left.
Answers back.
What do you have to do to Pitbull? He keeps coming forward.
But also Strauss is not the kind of guy who's going to get frustrated winning by decision. He's not going to go, well, I said I was going to finish him and I didn't. No, decision is just fine. He wants the belt.
It will still fit.
Uh-oh, shaking out that left hand. It's not a good sign. He's been throwing it so much. Pitbull has a forehead like a stone. It wouldn't surprise me if he hurt his hand.
Led with an elbow there instead of coming across with it.
Strauss might have hurt his hand.
And now for the first time since getting rocked in round two, Patrício trying to move in, and now Daniel Strauss wanted to go to the ground. This is what happened.
Jab with the right hand and then a takedown. I think that left hand is hurt. Near side cradle. Trying to turn into a takedown. He's not going to get it. Nice spinning back fist.
Almost got him with the elbow on that.
See how the hand is open? He's not making a fist with his left hand.
Whatever Patrício Pitbull has, he's going to unleash here. He cannot win this fight on the cards. It's not possible.
That left hand hook was a slapping shot for Strauss. He doesn't have faith in his left hand anymore.
Pitbull's best sequence of the fight.
Nice right hand.
He's pulling that left hand back when he throws it.
Still having a head in this round, though.
Daniel Strauss has a huge lead in this fight, but that is an ultra-dangerous man in front of him. Patrício went for that tie clinch, thinking about a knee. It's so tough when you're giving away all that height.
Yeah.
It has been Daniel Strauss's night. It has been Daniel Strauss's fight, but Pitbull somehow is still in it as we go to round 5.
Breathe. Listen, we got 5 minutes for you to be a champion. We got to fight smart. Okay? Breathe again. Very good.
Watch the left hand of Daniel Strauss.
That's the mind who's going to be a champion right there. We need to get 5 minutes. 5 minutes on him. Not let him breathe.
Yeah, shakes it out after the left hook.
Do you hear what I said? You hear what I say? You are the champion. Let's make sure. Let's do it right now.
He hit the shoulder, and then he hits him in the with the left. Pitbull blocks it with the right, and then he shakes it out. Either one of those punches could have hurt it.
Put it up.
After it, all the way back.
I didn't think it was possible they could put on a better show than they did in January, but they have. I also don't know how Patrício Pitbull is still standing.
Does he have another miracle comeback left in him? We're also going to see the last 5 minutes of his title reign.
Mason-Straus uses that left early.
On my scorecard, if Strauss finishes this fight on his feet, he wins. Nothing Pitbull can do in this round, but finish him can win him back this fight on my scorecard.
Pitbull had a nice finish to the 4th round, but it was still Daniel Strauss's round.
And that's the way I had it. I mean, you could have given it to Pitbull. I didn't, just because finish strong. A lot of judges give more emphasis to the end of the round, but I thought it was a Strauss round.
We've seen crazy things from judges in this sport, and there's the human element, but nothing would be crazier than this.
This would be a ridiculous robbery. I mean, investigation if Pitbull won a decision so far.
This is now about the heart of Patrício Pitbull and the next step in the evolution of Daniel Strauss. He is walking that ledge that twice before he has fallen off. If he keeps his balance for the next 3.5 minutes, he's a world champion.
This is a guy in Daniel Strauss who prides himself on his conditioning, his grinding ability, his ability to just wear guys down. He can wrestle this last round. Walk away a champion. Pitbull needs to throw some power punches and get the knockout. He hasn't gotten very close with his takedown.
Remember, Patrício Pitbull has 2 losses. They were both by narrow, split decision margins, 1-point margins. He has never been dominated this way. He is going for the back. Is Daniel Strauss going to give him the back again?
2 minutes left.
Flattened.
I do not believe what I am seeing.
Is it possible it could happen again? Is it possible that Patrício Pitbull has another miracle comeback in him?
Has one hook in now. He got the left hook out. 2 minutes left. This would not be, in my mind, a comeback. This would be an epic collapse for Daniel Strauss if he lost this fight.
Can he last the 2 minutes and exorcise the demons of the ones that got away? Those numbers at the bottom left separate Daniel Strauss from the world title.
He's almost out. Pitbull now on a wrestling ride. Doesn't have his hooks in. And this time, can Daniel Strauss escape? One hook in, trying to crank on the neck. And he is out.
Daniel Strauss has always had the skills of a champion. Tonight, the heart of one as well. Final minute. Spinning back fist, Pitbull looking for the desperation knockout.
And there is no quit in Patrício Pitbull. He is still fighting. This crowd now rising to its feet.
And Daniel Strauss, to his credit, is staying right in front of Pitbull. closing moment to this trilogy.
Those few who are seated are on the edge of their seat, as they should be.
The desperate world champion with the title slipping from his grasp.
Could this be MMA's Gotti Ward? They are throwing to the bell. Nice left hook, but it's over.
A spectacular finish. Patrício Pitbull takes the harm, but for Daniel-Straus, the third time is the charm.
My question is, what highlight will you use? Daniel-Straus landed the left hand throughout this fight. Patrício Pitbull, I don't know what kept him standing. His heart, his guts, his championship will kept him in the fight, because this was a wipeout for Daniel-Straus until that last round. And this is how it ended, folks. Toe-to-toe, throwing punches, neither guy backing down, neither guy circling out, neither guy playing defense. It couldn't end any other way.
An epic moment in Bellator, an epic moment in the sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll now go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge at cage side, Justin Brown, scores the fight 49-46. While judges Rob Francis and Ross Swamberg both see the fight the same, 48-47. They all see it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator featherweight world champion, Daniel-Straus.
It is the fourth time for Straus and Pitbull. It is main event time. It's Michael C. Williams time.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Spike, Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA from Mohegan Sun. The time has come for number 4, the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. Sanctioned by Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. Chairman is Kevin Brown. Chief of the Mohegan Tribe, Lynn Minerva. Supervising at cage side, Mr. Mike Mazzulli. Tonight's world title fight brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, first, the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 144 pounds even, the former Bellator featherweight world champion tonight enters with 25 professional victories, 4 defeats, from Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. Introducing the challenger, Patrício Pitbull. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'7", weighing in 145 pounds even. Tonight, in his first defense after regaining the title, he returns with 24 professional victories, 6 defeats. From Cincinnati, Ohio, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, the defending 2-time Bellator featherweight world champion, Daniel-Straus. In charge of the action, your referee, Dan Mergliata.
The first time Dan Mergliata has officiated either of these fighters.
Been through the rules of the locker room. Want you to obey my commands at all time. Want you to protect yourselves at all time. Have a nice, clean fight. Want to touch gloves? Do it now. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, sir.
They have spent an hour in the cage with each other. 12 rounds. They probably split the 12-6-6. The fourth fight, and likely the final one between these two.
You ready, sir? You ready, sir?
Let's go. Fight.
The fight clock in the main event for the featherweight world title, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time. Big shot by Pitbull opens the fourth meeting.
What I want to see is if Daniel-Straus throws the left hand with confidence.
He said it was about a month ago. He finally cracked someone in training with it, and he said it felt great. Remember, he knocked Pitbull down. The biggest shot of the fight was after he had broken that hand.
Yep.
And it was early on in the fight. Pitbull spent the rest of the fight trying to get back in it. I think he was pretty badly concussed. Hard for him to make a game plan. He was on instinct and survived the rest of the fight.
Went for that armbar immediately. Yep. He did more than survive. He had the big 4th round and the dramatic closing sequence.
I've grappled with Pitbull. It's like grappling a fire hydrant. Unbelievably strong, great technique on the ground, crazy pressure.
You've been to the guillotine.
Yeah, it's pop your head off. Saw Henry Corrales tap to it.
Right here in this building.
Yep.
Last April.
That's the thing about Strauss. He has range, he has versatility. We're seeing a much more patient Pitbull. He's waiting for the one big shot, a little bit like how he fought Ben Henderson.
His camp was different, he said, than anyone he's had. It was a recovery camp. He said, listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not 19 years old anymore. I know it. I can't go 3 or 4 times a day. And he was coming off that freak injury that cost him the Ben Henderson fight.
And this is how he fought Ben Henderson. Waiting for him to come inside and throwing big punches, and Ben never got his offense going.
He gained a lot of confidence from that fight. That was a win for Ben Henderson, but Patrício felt that was a fluke.
Yes. He's getting out of the way well. Being very elusive. And one thing about Daniel Strauss in most of his fights is his pacing. He's so busy, fighters can't keep up with him. They wear down. And he's not being very busy right now against Pitbull. Tasted that power. Might be making him a little gun shy. But we haven't seen him throw the left hand with confidence yet. We haven't.
He just pulled back on the left.
Yep.
Good. Solid kick from Patrício, and you got to watch, is he going to be gun shy about throwing that kick? I mean, that was a brutal injury.
Man, it's a very underused weapon for Pitbull. He has really strong leg kicks, but doesn't throw them that often. He hurt Pat Kern with it in their first fight and never went back to it. It's a weapon you have to use often to be effective. First nice left hand by Strauss.
One got through. This is what their first fight looked like. Right here along the fence. And they were 3 close rounds, but they were at a different experience level at that point. Daniel Strauss, not in terms of volume of fights, but he wasn't at the same level experience-wise. That's 6 years ago. In MMA, that's a lifetime.
He didn't fight like Daniel Strauss at all. Waited the whole time. Pitbull was aggressive. One thing about Pitbull is he's very, very consistent. He fights the same way every time. Daniel Strauss has had these flashes of greatness, these amazing rounds, amazing fights even, but had trouble with his consistency. I've talked about the mental breakdowns late in fights. That's been his kryptonite, but physically, if you look at the size difference when they're locked up together, Strauss is a giant. He cuts an amazing amount of weight. Saw him cut his hair against Pat Kern. I mean, he looked like death in that fight because of his weight cut, but he's the much bigger guy.
Now, if 2011 was a lifetime ago, 2012 was the last time, Jimmy, the featherweight title picture looked at least a little different.
Yep, that's right. Joe Warren versus Pat Kern. Pat Kern got that vicious knockout. Every title fight since then at 145 has involved one of these 2 fighters.
And the next one will involve Daniel Weichel, who is now the #1 contender after beating John Makaba last week in Budapest. Daniel Weichel, who came so close to that featherweight world title, Dan Morigliano with the quick trigger. It's on the undercard that Daniel Strauss had a big come from behind win that following the loss, dominant win that got him the title shot in November that resulted in the title victory.
Nice body kick. Everything he throws with power. There are no feeling out punches. Strauss, I think, yet to find his offensive rhythm in this fight.
The last time we saw Daniel Strauss after the first round, he put his hand on the cage just that way, the left hand. His coaches immediately grabbed. They knew it was broken. He knew it was in trouble. And his coaches were saying, you want to fight or you want to talk about your broken hand? And he snapped right back into the fight and obviously became the world champion. Jimmy's Scorecard brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get your fresh blade shave at dollarshaveclub.com today.
10-9 Pitbull thought he was more accurate with the right hand than Daniel Strauss was with the left. But Daniel Mason-Straus moving forward a lot, but I thought Pitbull more effective. He has a great guillotine. You see Daniel Straus, his hand on the hips, trying to keep Pitbull from pulling guard and really cranking on that guillotine. There he goes.
Goes for it. This is how he beat Henry Corrales. It's over.
Got him.
He got it. Daniel Straus taps immediately. And Patrício Pitbull has climbed the mountain again.
No doubt, no rounds, not long, not grueling, definitive. He got the guillotine finish. He is the champ once again. And it was the guillotine right here, arm in. And Straus was trying to keep him from pulling guard. You see his hand on the hips. As soon as his hand went off the hips, Pitbull pulls guard, and this is all she wrote. Beautiful guillotine finish. There it is. Just like Henry Corrales, a similar position, close to the fence. He has so much power in his arms, in his upper body. When he gets around the neck and puts those hips in, it is good night. I don't care who you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a guillotine choke. Official time, 37 seconds into round number 2 by submission. He is the new and now 2-time Bellator featherweight world champion do Brasil, Patrício Pitbull.
So much respect between those two who helped build this company.